Employee satisfaction plummets. Seems as if no one wants to work anymore. Hello, this is Chart GPT Today. There's recent polling out here, I think it was from Axios, saying that the month-on-month average of employee satisfaction score has plummeted once again here. It was kind of stable here, but it's kind of sinking. So this has been a common thing. Of course, we look at the Biden administration is touting his low unemployment numbers. We'll take a look at that to see whether or not there's something a little bit more darker under the covers there. So here's a quick chart here in regards to a job itself. What would attract you to a new opportunity? And of course, the biggest one obviously is salary and career growth opportunities, flexibility, job security, very typical things that we've seen in the past. So I don't know if there's a huge change in that. But here's those numbers in terms of the unemployment, which is hovering around around 3.5–4% there. But the thing to look at is the actual employment, and you can see that we kind of were going well until the 2008, and we haven't really recovered to trend line. And what's happened is that, even though population growth has probably gone up around 10%, so that kind of creates that trend line. Even though the population continues to grow, the workers have just not come about. It's kind of flatlined here, and you can see that we were at in 2008 around 140 million, and now there's maybe 150 million. So that you can see that the people in the workforce really haven't grown, and of course that's led to the decline of the unemployment, because unemployment is defined as people looking for a job in the last four weeks, and if they haven't, then they're not considered unemployed. So there's about 20 million workers less than there should have been. So even though the unemployment rate is very low, it doesn't necessarily mean it really is low, because people are just not looking for work anymore, and they're sitting at home in the basement playing Xbox or whatever. So, and you can see in terms of wages, which is one of the key things people look at, you can see real wages over the last year here, this is 21 to 22, have actually declined, even though prices at the inflation, we've talked about inflation before, but the actual real wages are in decline, so people are unhappy about that. So what's the resignation rate? Is quite interesting. People tend to resign in less than 1 year, so people are resigning more. So this is kind of a chart. Typically people resign in the first year, 45 to almost 50%. And here's the major reason: they want more money, better compensation, better work-life balance seem to be the high ones there. So that's kind of an interesting thing. Here's kind of an interesting from the visual capitalist here, and seeing, well, if you had the average workforce of 100 people, what does it look like? Office administration, health, transport, sales, food, management, business, finance, manufacturing, education. If you actually look at this, a lot of these jobs might be considered kind of like yum-dum, or people don't want to be that engaged with these jobs, and so people are just kind of checking out if they can. Maybe government aid subsidies help people do that. Of course, the COVID was a good thing for that. But I want to draw your focus to this chart. We can see here that, you saw the dip. You can see the dip in 2020 and 2021. That was the COVID dip. But in terms of the youth, which is the blue line here, it's significantly dropped down in terms of of course, is the inverse. So the people that are working in the youth are less and less. They had been in decline, but it's really taken a big drop. And the older people, because of the inflation and the money issues, have been starting to work more. So older people are working more and younger people are working less. So that is the trend in employment. I think one of the issues there is that instead of having huge unemployment drops in rates in terms of, or rises, depending on how you look at it, is that people now it's more socialized, meaning the losses of employment are spread over lower wages as opposed to specific job losses. Interesting point there. Check out the AI and what it determines what is the dissatisfaction among young workers. Kind of interesting dissertation on that. And take our online poll. Why do you think the youth are no longer wanting to work as they did before? And don't forget to subscribe.